Happy Monday, Saints fans. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And as for today's show, we're going to be breaking down the New Orleans Saints Rookie Minicamp winners and losers from this past weekend. Now, I will preface with this. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. They're in helmets, they're in shorts and t-shirts. They're in the absolute most chill environment they could be in right now where it's not even full speed. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Obviously, nobody's a true loser in this situation, but, let's have some fun and let's have a good content. And at the end of the day, I'm a winner, and I know Saints fans are winners, so help us out so we can win this sub-battle this week. You would never believe this, but Falcons today and our guy Nick Roloff, they are outperforming the Saints channel by a landslide. They have over 100 new subs, more than the Saints channel got last week. They're outperforming us in views. They're outperforming us in likes and comments. I mean, it's unbelievable. So we're starting the sub battle. We're starting at zero, and we're starting from scratch. Subscribe. Let's beat the Falcons, and let's break down the rookie minicamp. All right, so as for the rookie minicamp, New Orleans had 48 players participate in this year's rookie minicamp. You had 7 draft picks, 11 UDFAs, and 24 tryout players. And the Saints, as of right now, as of going into the weekend, signed 4 of their 7 draft picks. So let's break down the winners. Because in life, there are winners. In life, there are losers. And Jake Haener, the Fresno State quarterback, the 4th-round draft pick, is a very big winner. And here's what looked good for the quarterback who's probably going to be QB3 this year. Could even potentially move up to QB2 if Jameis Winston gets moved or something happens with him. So, in terms of why Haener looked good, he had very crisp footwork. It looked very intentional. He was very comfortable in the pocket and moved around very well, not in the pocket, but he moved around in pocket drills very well. He also had nice ball placement. He showed some good accuracy and some good poise. And one of my favorite things about him is his mentality in that it builds a winning culture, especially at that quarterback position and especially whenever it's a depth piece like a backup quarterback, because at the end of the day, you're still a leader. So here's what Jake Haener had to say on his transition to the NFL. I think it's just a whole different scheme. A lot of different things, a lot of different moving pieces. I think the details need to be that much more taken care of. So I'm going to study, take it one day at a time, and continue to get better. And I love that, and that is why I am so excited, and I was so happy with that pick of Jake Haener in the 4th round. But let's not talk about the draft. Let's talk about what's coming up in the preseason. Are you excited to see Jake Haener in the preseason? I know I am. I know we're not going to see a ton of Jameis Winston. We might see a little bit of Derek Carr, but we're going to see predominantly Jake Haener. So I'm curious as to what you think. Sound off for me. Type E if you're excited. Type N if you're not. You might get hit with the YouTube ad break, so if you do, take advantage of it and share your thoughts. All right, so the next winner is the kick return specialist and the wide receiver, Malik Flowers. And now why Flowers is a winner. So he is a very interesting UDFA that the Saints brought in. I was very shocked to find this out, that somehow Rashid Shaheed's 7 touchdown record of kick returns in the FCS level was tied. And guess who did it? It's a player on the Saints, and his picture is right below me, Malik Flowers. So his biggest strength is his kick returning ability. He did, however, show some clean hands. He showed good awareness. He was able to catch the ball, bring it in very smoothly, catch it with his hands rather than his body, like a kick returner or punt return specialist typically has an issue with, especially at the younger developmental stages. He also showed good awareness. There was reports saying that he had nice little toe tap on the sideline. He showed to know where to show that he knows where the sideline starts and where the field ends. And just in terms of his kick return stats, wow, holy cow, 92 attempts. And this is for all 4 years with the Grizzlies. 92 attempts, 2,569 yards, 7 touchdowns, and he averaged just under 30 yards per kick return. Now, I really do think that Malik Flowers will make this roster. I believe that he has, he offers something that's actually an undervalued thing that we're thinking about. If you want to consider the fact that Rashid Shaheed could truly move into a wide receiver 3 role, or he could really see his production and his opportunities on the offensive side of the ball increase, that means he's going to get less time as a kick returner, as a punt returner, at least in my opinion. And that's why I think a guy like Malik Flowers makes so much sense to make the roster, because if you want to focus on Rashid Shaheed being an offensive weapon and not a special teams guy, you can have Malik Flowers fill in that role. Obviously, they're both great kick returners. Obviously, they both show very high awareness on the field. So I think it's interesting that they brought in Malik Flowers, and I think that he will end up making the roster. And number 3 winner, the wide receiver, probably the steal of the draft, A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest. And so typically he is a outside guy at Wake Forest for the Demon Deacons. He was lining up on the outside, but he stood out at Saints Minicamp this year because he, one, got some slot reps and he got some slot receptions and some routes that he got to run. But 2, he caught all of his passes except for 1. He showed strong hands and catching the ball away from his body, the same thing as Malik Flowers. So he showed that he can go and get the ball, has strong hands, isn't having to bounce away. He was very impressive in terms of diving and going and catching the ball on the ground. Like, these are all things that I love to see in young players, and especially in a late round draft pick that's a rookie. You got to show everything you can to make that roster, and I think A.T. Perry is doing a phenomenal job of that. And here's what he had to say on what he wants to show the Saints staff during minicamp, OTAs, training camp, all of the offseason activities. He said, "I'm a playmaker. I'm a baller. I'm here for a reason. I feel like God brought me here for a reason, so I'm happy with it. I'm excited to be here and show everybody what I can do." And my take on this, I understand that we have a pretty solid wide receiver depth chart with the New Orleans Saints. You have a lot of guys that could find themselves on the outside looking in, like a Traquan Smith. I mean, there's other guys on the roster too, like Kirk Merritt, Keith Kirkwood, that are also quality football players. But my personal opinion, the more pass catchers, the better. And I actually have a graphic here we're going to show you later that shows you some of the top some of the top pass catchers and some of the top playmakers on the Saints offense. But guys, I need you to tell me, rank the Saints offense for me. 1 through 32. Are they the number 1 offense in the NFL? Are they the worst offense in the NFL? Are they somewhere in the middle? I think they're kind of in the middle-ish area, probably, top 12, top 15. But I need you to let me know, rank them in terms of in a scale of 1 to 32. If you know ball, I need you to prove it in the comment section. All right, so there's winners and there's losers. Unfortunately, Joel Wilson, the UDFA out of Central Michigan, he is a loser. And this is unfortunate news. We're not calling him a loser. Just want to preface that. Joel Wilson is not a loser. He just lost in rookie minicamp because he actually failed his physical, and it's because of an ankle injury that he suffered in November at Central Michigan. It was on a touchdown catch, which is, awesome. He got the ball, he got the points, but you hurt your ankle. He didn't pass his physical, so he did not report to minicamp. But Lucas Kroll, he spent last season on the practice squad. He was a UDFA out of Pitt. He is a player that participated in rookie minicamp this year. Fun fact about Lucas Kroll, he was actually a pitcher at the University of Arkansas, Woo Pig, before transferring to Pitt to play football. It's kind of just interesting. I always thought that was kind of cool. But then also Foster Moreau, for just an update on him. He's going to be good to go. He's going to be ready to roll during training camp. The Saints obviously brought him in. So with Joel Wilson not passing his physical, I just have a firm belief he had a very tough battle. He had an uphill battle going into the offseason because not going into the offseason, but after the Saints signed Foster Moreau, he had an uphill battle that he was facing because that tight end depth chart got really crowded really quickly. And so I think that having guys like Taysom Hill and Juwan Johnson as well in that depth chart made Joel Wilson's opportunity to make the roster pretty tough. So it's obviously unfortunate to see it not work out for him. Obviously, we wish him the best and wish him a speedy recovery. But at the end of the day, football is football, and you got to do business. You got to get your roster down to 53 players. But guys, I know you guys see me repping my Drew Brees jersey. I know y'all see me repping the GOAT. If your girl wants to rep Derek Carr, or if you want to rep Chris Olave, or if you want to rep Tyrann Mathieu, or hell, even Wham Bam Thank You Cam, we got you right here, chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. I'll have that link in the description for you. in the comments and in the description. You can also get a Drew Brees jersey. They have all of them. They have the home blacks. They got the color rush. They got the away whites. They got even some throwback jerseys, which I think are pretty cool. So go get geared up. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. All right. The next rookie minicamp loser is Jesse Bates. That's not a mistake. This is not a mistake here. Jesse Bates is a rookie minicamp loser because look at this. Look at this graphic. We couldn't even fit all of the offensive weapons that I wanted to fit on here onto the graphic. But so we just went with my top 10. You got Michael Thomas. I don't give a damn what everyone else in this office is saying. Michael Thomas is going to be great this year. He is going to be phenomenal. He is going to play in over half of the games this season. A lot of people in the Chat Sports studios are saying Michael Thomas will be lucky to play 5 games. Hell no. He's playing in at least double digits, and he's going to be a dog this year. Chris Olave, he's going to take a massive step in this year's development as a year 2 wide receiver. He's already an 1,000-yard guy, and I think with great quarterback or with better quarterback play, he's going to be a great player. Bryan Edwards, he's going to probably beat out Traquan Smith. A.T. Perry, I am excited to see him line up for the Saints or with the Saints offense. Rashid Shaheed, y'all know my thoughts on him. I have the need for Rashid Shaheed because I love speed. I love this kid. I've been high on this kid since he signed out of Weber State last year. I've been talking about him almost every opportunity that I could get. Alvin Kamara, he's going to be facing a suspension, but I suspect that he will find himself in a better, or he'll find himself having a better role. Jamal Williams, he led the running backs across the NFL in touchdowns last year. Kendre Miller, your 3rd-round pick. He's going to be great whenever he's healthy. Juwan Johnson, Mr. Reliable. He's going to get you first downs. He's going to get you touchdowns. And Taysom Hill, I know that he's a tight end, but he's not. We all know that. He's just on the depth chart because flex is not a real position, but I'm going to make it one for the sake of this graphic. Jesse Bates is cooked. My point in all of this, and Seeps, if you could keep me like Cam left on this, I want to be on screen for this. Jesse Bates is cooked. Jesse Bates is wildly cooked. So I just want to show some film from last year. I saw a lot of things being like, oh, well, the Falcons defense has Jesse Bates now, so you guys are screwed. All right, you want to see what happens when Jesse Bates goes against a UDFA? Look, so there's him in the circle. Do you see right here? Right here, that's Rashid Shaheed. Now go to the next slide, Seeps. Okay, now look. He closed it in. He closed in the gap, but look how much space. That's like 3 or 4 yards. He breaks this tackle from whatever bum this is probably. Eli Apple, screw that guy. He sucks. I hate him. But then let's finish it off. He's in for the touchdown. He's in for the touchdown because Jesse Bates is cooked. He is screwed. I am not worried about anything about the Falcons. I'm not worried about a damn thing in the NFC South. And I have to say, F them birds. I am the biggest anti-Atlanta Falcons guy you will probably ever meet, or at least see on YouTube. So if you aren't scared of the fraudulent Atlanta Falcons, I need you to type FATL in the comment section. I need you liking this video. And also, if this is a reason enough, if you just love the Saints, you bleed black and gold, and you just can't stand the fact that the Falcons think that they're relevant, just type FATL, like this video, because we all know, as Saints fans, you hate the Falcons. You know that New Orleans is better than Atlanta. The food's better. The people's better. The culture's better. Everything about it is significantly better, and that is why you got to go type FATL, go like this video, and say F them birds. All right. LOL. The NFC South is also a rookie and minicamp loser. They are just so screwed. Nothing about this division makes me nervous. There is not a single thing about any of the 3 other teams in the NFC South that makes me at all nervous. You think he's hold on. Look at the height difference. Look at the height difference. I mean, come on now. Come on now. You're scared of that? I'm not. Bama quarterbacks never work out in the NFL anyway. Let's go to the next one. No. Next. Absolutely not. But I have to get to this guy. I got to get to this guy because producer Roloff, Nick Rowley, he is our Falcons channel manager here. He is in charge of all of our Falcons content. I'm not scared of Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. I'm not scared of Bryce Young and the Panthers. I'm not scared of the Atlanta Falcons and Nick Roloff. So I need you to also type F Rolly in the comment section, because we all know at the end of the day, the Who Dat Nation, the New Orleans Saints, and everyone in their world who's living golden is always going to one-up the Atlanta Falcons. But at the end of the day, guys, this is why you subscribe. We always bring you fun and interactive content. I know this was kind of a joke, but, you know, it's all in good fun. It's the offseason. So if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like the video, subscribe, share the video, and y'all stay golden. We'll see you tomorrow.